morning guys. Today we are doing a little video with one of our clients' horses, Finn, who's been here with us for a little while, and it's going to be a bit of a homework video for his owner, who will be taking him home to continue his training, and normally would probably be more involved, but with lockdown and that, I want to give her plenty of homework until we're able to see him again and kind of go through everything. He's really cool. I actually have no idea how old he is, but sort of young, and he has been working on lots of stuff. He's had a huge progress since he's been here, so it's very exciting. And we are gonna take you through maybe, I don't know, haven't planned it, we'll see how we go, but maybe 10 or so exercises that I've been working really hard on with him, to remind Kim of what she's got to keep doing, but also for anyone else that's looking, to keep this kind of training going, it might be useful for you. A good view of him. He's a beautiful dark grey colour, so he's very stylish. So I've dressed him in all green, go figure, green everywhere, for today's video. But he has been here. For you guys who don't know, we offer a 5-week boot camp package. Where are we going? Sorry, steering one-handed. And it's our most popular training package, so we're always having people sending, and we like to show you what kind of things we get up to in that 5 weeks. So Finn's been primarily focusing on dressage training, but we've jumped in here and there to put what he's learning. He is going to be an eventer, so to put what he's learning on the flat back into his jumping as well. But he's a pretty good jumper, so definitely the flat work needed a little bit more of a kickstart. So yeah, these are all the sort of exercises that we've been really using to help get him through over the last 5 or so weeks. I think he works out to have had an extra week or so in the end, but yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so when Finn arrived, you can see he's a chunky fella, and he tended to be a little bit on the forehand. He didn't have a lot of half-halt, and he was a bit strong. So they've been our overarching things to work on in his 5-week boot camp. So the first thing that we really wanted to put in was the stop, because half-halt is so important for him, but half-halt isn't going to work if we didn't have the stop. So the first thing we did to introduce that was teaching him a little bit of ray-back, because that instantly shifts the weight from his front legs and lifts his shoulder. So you can see there. When I do this, I want to watch out that I don't feel like there's any more resistance on one side than the other. And I felt there that he was blocking me a little bit more to the left side. So I'm going to do another one. And I'm just going to move my left fingers a little bit. And see, good boy. I'm going to get resistance doing that, but that's kind of how I get him to understand that he can't pull down against me. Good boy. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Now, when I go to trot, there'll be a little bit more momentum, so it'll be harder to make those rainbacks, but I'm still going to do them, because it's good to kind of have that extra momentum, go through that resistance to get the most benefit out of it. So doing our warm-up trot, pretty much straight away, I'm not going to just trot laps and laps, straight away I'm going to be thinking to go through this stuff. You can see he crosses his jaw a little bit, so I'm going to make it so he's soft, and then he maintains posture here, and then back up the trot. Remembering that when I tune up the stop button, we've got to keep him in front of the leg. He actually was pretty lazy when he came, but he's really good with that now. The go works better than the stop, it's more consistent. So go through this, even if it's ugly, I'm going to go through it, find my rein back, and straight up to trot no matter what. Even if he comes off the bit, I'm more interested in what his feet are doing than, whether his head comes up. It's more important that he's in front of the leg than anything else. I'm going to make a couple more of these. I'm going to ask for a counter there. Another one here. It's really important that he maintains his posture. He doesn't dive down in the downward transition. That's his biggest thing I want to avoid. That I don't want him thinking he can lean on me and I'm going to carry him around, because he is too heavy to do that. He's got to carry him around. That one was a mid-snort, so a little bit crappy. Now I've also started to think the more I do, if I get a really good one, I won't follow up with a rein back. I'll just I'm happy with it and he feels pretty soft, I'll just stand and then go forward again. Good boy. Okay, so I've done my warm up and rising, and now I can come up to sit. So I did that both days. And now when I come here and start to sit, you can see he needs to give his back a little more. He kind of wants to cool down a little bit. So I'm going to use one step of walk to sort of replicate what I did. And you can see I use my in the downward part. So I'm doing this to replicate the rein back sort of feeling, and so it becomes a half-halt. Good boy. So I'm really looking that through this whole half-halt, he doesn't dive down and become heavy. In fact, I don't mind if he comes up a little extra. Good boy. But he's not to dive down. It's really important. So it should get light enough. Yeah, good boy. Light enough that I can just do it off a little squeeze of my fingers, a little press of my legs. And the shoulder comes up, the hind leg comes under, and he starts to kind of let go of his back and connect up to the bridle in a light sort of contact. One more. Good. That one was a bit crooked. We'll do one more. So a little press of my hands, use the whip if you need to back up. Good. And then I'll chuck a random pulse. Just the test. So I'm just about to make some teeny tiny serpentine turns, trying to get him to follow the inside rein and not fall out through the shoulders. So you can see him move that there, then soften when he turns. Go again. When he comes out, good. That left turn was better than the last one. So he just tries to fall out a little bit. Kind of want to surprise him with these turns a little bit, so he can't predict them. Turn here. And there, comes his distance. Okay, so I'm about to go into like a kind of little bit of shoulder in positioning. And I'm going to do that so that I can get him to bend a little bit through his middle section, his rib cage, and align his hind quarter where it should be. And I am at risk with those serpentine turns. I did get him turning properly, but I'm at risk with this that I might lose the shoulder a little bit. But I want the suppleness first, and then I'm going to come in with the next exercise and turn him off the outside 8 more. And sort of put it together hopefully, and that's when I should get like a new gear in the trot. Put my inside leg on and try and push him across with the outside rein. I might ride this on a square. You can do it in an oval though. I'm doing it on a square so I can finish with a turn just to like kind of get his shoulder again. Good boy. If this is easy, which he actually has been really good starting this today, I'm going to make some transitions within it. So I'm going to come down and make a walk and let it go. Yeah, he came off the bit a little bit. And come through, shoulder in tight positioning, 1 step walk and back in. Still keep turning, so vibrating my inside rein to move him across into that outside rein. Another transition. Good boy. Back up with my whip on behind my leg if I need it. Good. Okay, so getting to let go of his back, not hold any tension or bracing. Now I should be able to just come out and make a bigger trot on the way. I'm staying balanced, still making half-halts, asking for that turning of the shoulder, bending of the ribs. Good. Little half-halts here, and for my half-halts now I can just make him bend a little bit more than before. And I'm going to go the other way. Okay, this is just the same again. Asking for you around that left leg. I'm going to turn here, staying connected to my outside rein, getting that heel through the body. See, finds that hard, he gets a little sticky. Keep moving him. Inside, outside range. See, he just struggles a little there. And then he comes to the party. And then he sometimes tries to like run a little bit. When you do get him through, he sort of finds it hard and tries to get quicker. You could make a half hold if that happens. Then I'm going to come out. See there, I'm just going to watch him kind of make the half hold. So he does a drop, shoulder, and sort of get quicker and heavier. I'm going to go straight into now moving him off the outside aids. Now I'm going to do a whole circle with counter flexion. And pushing him off my outside leg into my inside range, which in this case has the role of the outside range. Good. And then I'm going to swap back to a little bit of fielding off the inside. And then back to the outside. Just like moving around, shuffle him, straighten him, do all the things. If I feel resistance, I'm going to look for that. Or if I sense resistance, I'll look for it, find it, moving away. Yeah, and then be soft. Out, good boy. Up the inside, and I find that, so I go off the outside. Up the inside. Good boy. Again. I get him around the inside like this way and turn him off the outside aids. I block me a little bit, back off the inside aids. See if I can grow the trot in between. Off the outside, off the inside, off the inside, outside. Changing the flexion, moving the ribs, changing the flexion, moving the ribs. Bring up again, bring it up, get quicker or stronger. Good boy. And now I feel like he gave me his back a little bit. So let's change the rhythm. Okay, so I'm about to do a bit of counter work. I'm going to start off with some Trot counter transitions, and I'm going to do them in really close proximity, like 5-10 seconds. Between each one. That's really just good for him to, firstly pick himself up, pop himself back down, and have to kind of be on my aids with balance, listen to the half halt. And then from there, I'm going to turn into making some half halts in the canter, which is really hard for him. But I first just want to tune up these Trot canners and make sure that works. So my stop and go really on point. He might come off a bit. Again, I'm prioritizing what his feet and his body is doing rather than his head. But the roundness and the connection will come from him being more on the aids. Okay, so cantering, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to find my Trot. It wasn't the smoothest transition, I got a bit crooked, but the button did work, so that's really important. Then canter again, and it just braces a little bit through that transition, so I'll make a little bit of my shoulder core positioning, and I'm going to find my Trot and interrupt that before he starts to get too strong. And up, and off the middle, reconnecting the canter. That means turning it off the outside edge of 8 pin saliva. Grab the canter. And I just want to see that I can get him off the outside edge a little more here. Good. Trot. Canter. So you get strong now and then come straight back to Trot. Canter. Trot. Every time he blocks me, I'm going to make a transition. And that will become a counter half hold. But the Trot is just a bit easier if you try to pull. Right, just get 2 more. Okay, this time I'm going to add a little bit of canter so you can not get strong. And every time you get strong, I'm going to make my counter half hold. See, ready? Jumped around a little, then he dropped out. That's okay, so I want the shoulders to come up, 5 legs out, take it straight, and then come out. So work his body both longitudinally and laterally, and maybe 5 seconds worth of that kind of more collected canter, which is our half halt. And then he dives down, so we'll make it again, which will crack it a little bit. That's okay though. Put him down. Good boy. Making sure you have enough canter in between, that you actually have the energy to contain the energy. If you don't have it in the first place, it's probably not really going to work. Okay, then I'm going to test my brakes a little bit. Wasn't the best, but I did get back. So I got the trot counters working, I got some canter half halts happening. Now I'm just going to make some walk canters and canter halts or canter walks. The reason I'm doing that is, again, all about the stop and go. I don't care if they're perfect or if they're the prettiest ever, but they're really important to get that reaction. So let's have a go. He also has to really use his hind quarter. And yeah, he came off the bit, but the button worked, so that's exciting. And a bit more of a collected canter from coming from walk. Okay, I'm going to set it up, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got my walk. Do it again. So I know he's coming off the bit, but I like that he's lifting the shoulder and sort of jumping into that transition. We should stop trying to jump out to the vertical. I'll go around this time so I don't have to deal with that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more. So they're not perfect, but they're a really good training tool for now. I'm not going to do too much about that. In fact, I appreciate that he is jumping into the transition. Good. Okay, and the last thing I just want to finish off with after doing the canter is making sure, I should have his back more now. I just want to finish off with a really on-the-spot type of trot, which is hard for him, a more collected type trot. I want to take away all his momentum and make sure he can carry himself without that and be supple and connected. So after the canter, he's probably not going to want to sit on his butt in the trot here. And I'll just wait it out. And every time I make that half halt within this more collected type trot, he's going to slide a little bit there or try and wiggle a way out. So I have to be really careful and using all the tools I've kind of used today, putting it all together to get this at the end. So you can see he tries to slide out, and then try to the outside edge, so be soft. And half halt. Good boy. So I'm really happy with the half halt now, but I would like a little bit more consistency with the in-between bits. So there, I feel like he's still tanking along a little. So I'm going to find my half halt, move his ribs, find my half halt. Good. Good. And this is what I like. I like when I can put my hands forward and he stays light. And yeah, I can touch him with the leg and he doesn't think all faster. I want him to think one leg's on. She wants, me to yield my ribs or go sideways, not get runny. Good. A little bit of the shoulder before I can pop. A little of the half halt. See, he came up a little and blocked. So another one. Good boy. Now, I should be able to just trot around like this without him doing any of the naughty stuff. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. A little bit smashy. Got a little bit of flow out of that. Take it back. Put it together. And there, strong again. Carry himself, good bend. And that's when we start to find a little bit more swing, is when people self-carriage, not running. making little versions of the half-halt all the time. Good boy. And now he can actually have a stretch on my terms at the end. Not just when he wants to. Of course, I finally let him stretch and he wants to stop. Big clown.